Malaysia is very business friendly. It's very efficient. It's much more efficient than I thought. The other thing, I told about the story last time in Beijing, and I want to share the story again. The Silk Road, which China invented. China is famous for the Silk Road, but Malaysia, without Malaysia, the Silk Road will not be that successful. People will say, maybe ask why. The Silk Road at that time, main products to sell tea leaves. And tea at that time was so expensive, difficult, very expensive to preserve, to protect. But Malaysia has the best mine of tin. And the Silk Road, because of the Malaysia mine of the tin plus the tea makes the Silk Road happen. Without the tin of Malaysia, the Silk Road tea trade will never be that popular. And of course, without the tea trading, without the Silk Road, in 18th century, Malaysia will never be the #1 country of having the tin products. So this is amazing of trade. And I'm a strongly believer that if the trade stops, war starts. Trade is to make people respect the other people's culture. Trade is not about a product exchange. It's about an idea exchange, innovation exchange. So I'm a strong believer that one day, if the world stops trade, the war will start. And if the war stops, the trade begins. So today, in Alibaba history, it's our first time. Our CEO Daniel from Alibaba Group, Chairman of Ali Ant Financing, Lucy, and all the Alibaba senior management, together with 16 largest logistic companies of China, we come to Malaysia for this great event. We think today symbolize that government and business can work it together. This symbolizes that a nation would commit for the digital period for inclusive for everybody. I know it's not easy. We can launch, negotiate for 4 months, but make it happen may take about 4 years or 14 years. To improve it will take about 40 years. But if we start from today, things could happen. And I want to say in the past 10 years, many things changed. China, e-commerce, nobody will believe that e-commerce could happen in China. People keep on asking me, why Alibaba go that big on e-commerce, bigger than the United States? Why not because we are smart. I'm not smart. We don't have a lot of smart people like 15 years ago. This is because the business infrastructure in China at that time were too bad. In the USA, e-commerce or commerce infrastructure was so good. So it is very difficult for e-commerce to survive. E-commerce in America is a dessert, but in China, it becomes the main course. And I think here the same. I heard that 97% of the business in Malaysia are small business, but they control only less than 40% of the GDP. I think 90% of the small business could produce at least 80% of the GDP. Because if we have more small business, that means we have more jobs. If we have more small business, that means we have more middle class. If we have more small business, that means the country's economy can be stabilized, can be sustainable. So the digital free trade zone is trying to make the business more inclusive, is trying to make the small business, the business more sustainable, and try to make the business world more happy and healthy. For example, for the e-business grows so fast, we also grow another business called logistics. Today, the 16 companies coming here, they get 70% of the logistic package delivered in China. What does that mean? 15 years ago, China only created less than 1 billion packages per year. Today, China created more than 30 billion packages per year, and 70% of the logistics were created by the people here, 16 companies. And these 16 companies, 10 years ago, none of them exist. This is the magic of technology. This is the magic of the entrepreneurships. So if you really want to do it, we can make it happen. And we want to make this logistic, we'll make this hub be the center of this hub. We were making sure in every 72 hours, in next 20 years, anywhere in the world, if you want to place an order online, within 72 hours, you receive it. So this will be the hub of this area and working together. And finally, I want to say that the first time I heard about Alibaba has a wrong definition was in Malaysia. They think Alibaba is a thief. We will prove it, because I was considered, people call me thief, a liar, 18 years ago when I tell about what is internet in the future, what e-commerce will do for the world. Nobody believed it, and we proved in the past 18 years. And I want, let's work together that we should change the dictionary in Malaysia for Alibaba. And the other thing I want to say that last year I fly in the air for more than 800 hours. I travel around the world. I learn a lot of things. I understand one thing. What does globalization mean? Globalization is not to go the other carrier because of the cheap labor. It's not about open factories going there because there is a cheap, low-cost raw materials. Globalization means create jobs, create values for the local people. Globalization means make technology, financing, everything inclusive. And globalization means respect the other culture. So this is what we want to do in the next 30 years, using the technology, making young people below 30 years old, making small business, less than 30 people. Next 30 years is the great period for human lives. If we view it good, let's do it in a good way. So the Silk Road and the One Road, One Belt is something we should think about. We should use technology. We should leverage young people. Let's immobilize all the small business. It's about inclusive friendship, peace. And I think this country, this location was so friendly to business, not only today, in the history, and it's going to be the future. Because of the digital, this country, this area could be more powerful. This is what I believe. And finally, people keep on asking, in the future, which side will win, west side or east side? And I'm a believer. It's not west wing or east wing. If we work together, we both win. And there's nothing that we cannot do if we work together. Making sure the world is for young people. Making sure the world is for small business. And making sure that everything we do are inclusive. Thank you very, very much. Thank you.